multi-million-dollar climate justice campaign and the most loyal, influential audience. According to an independent research study by the polling firm Avinerus, for the second consecutive year, KBLA Talk 1580 is the most trustworthy, reliable, and credible news source for Black audiences and beyond in Southern California. Let KBLA Talk 1580 power your advertising dollars. Our omni-channel custom marketing solutions are specifically tailored to connect with your ideal target audience. We leverage audio, podcasts, streaming, digital, social media, and local activations to get your message out to the Black community. Get in touch with our advertising team today at advertising@KBLA1580.com. That's advertising at KBLA1580.com. KBLA 1580. We've got your Black.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
Don't you driving me insane, just as heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
When you are in an argument or disagreement, do not hit below the belt.
Don't do it.
When you are in the heat of the moment and you don't know what else to do and you get so flustered and frustrated, a common thing that people do is to say something that will inflict pain on their partner. Mm-hmm. But what you don't realize is that, yes, you might have hurt them in the moment.
Yes.
But this is going to come back to bite you in the behind later on. Because of the simple fact that you can't unsay it and they can't unhear it. And they know that you have the propensity to hurt them. So what they're going to do is start shutting down emotionally with you. They're not going to want to talk to you because you are no longer safe.
No.
And when you are no longer safe for them to talk to with their feelings and with their heart and with their emotions, people, we can and often do start to back out of that relationship because they realize they aren't safe with you.
Yes. Yeah, you don't want to get into a hit below the belt contest with your partner.
No.
Because you don't know how far below the belt they're going to go. You might want to say, oh, you done got fat now, huh? Try to make them feel bad. Or you in the midst with your friends and they bring up the fact that you got doodle stains in your drawers.
Oh.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason back in the building with yet another interesting topic. your friend and brother, Zoe Williams. I don't know if exacerbated is a good enough word, adjective, to describe how I feel about the relationship world and how we, try to navigate towards healthy relationships, right? Most of us, let's use Kendrick Lamar and Drake as a metaphor, if you're aware of the battle. Or we could use boxing, Floyd Mayweather, right? What made Floyd so amazing is that he could fight backing up, or what they call off the back foot. He could fight backing up. He could move back and capitalize on your aggressiveness, right? He also, and there's also another principle in boxing, which is lead. Don't follow. Lead, right? Lead. Many of us are the proverbial Drake in our relationships, meaning in a relationship fight, we're reactive, we're responding, we're not leading. Floyd Mayweather led, even when he was fighting off the back foot. Even when he was moving backwards, he was still getting off first. Do you understand the principle, the concept? Many of our psychologists, many of our therapists, we are still fighting off the back foot. What do you mean by that, Zoe? Everything is about protection. That's because we live in a fear-based society. So everything is about safety. You must be safe. Right? Zoe, that's a very poignant thing, or a very necessary thing that has to be in place. People in relationship must feel safe. But then I would retort and say, why? Why is safety a premium? Follow me for a second. Why is safety a premium? Because most people have already been hurt, and now they're in the business of protecting unhealed wounds. You rarely hear people say, can we create a safe space for constructive disagreements, constructive fights? Let's have a healthy fight in our relationship. Most people I know are exceedingly fearful of really speaking their mind to their partner. Most people are in defense mode, like Drake. Drake drops a rhyme. I didn't say that. I didn't do that. I wasn't that. You said this. I'm not that. He's in defense mode. Most of us are trying to have a disagreement while in defense mode. Do you understand? We don't embrace conflict in relationship. We don't embrace it. We're trying to evade it. We're trying to avoid it. Tonight's topic, let's have a healthy fight. Listen, if you're the closest person to me and you know the most about me, you should be able to stand up to me in private. You should be able to pull my coattail, respectfully. Now, this is where black men owe black women an apology. Uh-oh. Are y'all ready? See, we don't owe you an apology for being as psychologically as damaged as you are, right? We don't owe you an apology for that. We both come from a toxic society, and most of our lineage is from slavery. So there are psychological wounds that go all the way back. So we have that shared traumatic history. This is where we owe you an apology. Black men don't listen to black women. a lot of us, and a lot of black women are getting tired of talking, tired of instructing, tired of trying to guide. They can't guide us while on eggshells. Do you understand? Like, a lot of men, brothers, I'm speaking to brothers, especially in context of conflict. Woman, don't you raise your voice in my house. You know, a lot of, we don't listen. We don't. Do you understand what I'm saying? When we disagree with our woman, it's like, woman, what's wrong with you? You're on the wrong side of the war right now. Right? So, again, we don't owe you an apology for being as traumatically damaged as you, but we do owe you an apology for forgetting how to listen to you. That's what we owe an apology for. Right? When, in general, just come on, in general. I'm not speaking of all men. This is why I use the term some but all. Some but not all. Some but all. There are a great many men out there who will listen to the sage wisdom of their woman if she has sage wisdom to offer. There are, and vice versa. But we gotta learn how to be able to integrate healthy conflict into our relationships. Tonight's topic, let's have a healthy fight. Let's have one. Because I'm a different person. So many of us are just really a tough people pleaser. So many of us, right? We're a stubborn people pleaser. It is our fear, it is our unhealed wounds that makes us want to capitulate to the demands of our partner, even though we might not want to. So in a way, we're a bit selfish, right? How to fight healthy in a relationship. Do you know how to do it? Can you disagree with your partner without the whole relationship unraveling? Why do certain words, you hear people say it all the time, there's certain things you can say you can never take back. Listen, to me, that is an indication that you're not healed. Never take back. Then another context, oh, never say never. What? Okay, listen. Especially if we love one another. Especially if we put time, energy, effort, love, compassion, empathy, care into one another. That's taking away an aspect of humanity. Yes, a human being is not a machine, an automaton that makes no mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. What are the signs of an unhealthy fighting style in a relationship? How often do healthy couples fight? How does one have a healthy argument? How does one have a healthy argument with a dismissive, avoidant significant other? How does one have a healthy argument / disagreement with an anxious, preoccupied significant other? How does one have a healthy argument / fight with a fearful, avoidant significant other? What is emotional neglect in relationships? How do you break the cycle of fighting in relationships? How do you pick your battles in relationship? What is gaslighting in relationship? What does a healthy argument look like in relationship? What is stonewalling in a relationship? How do you argue with your covert narcissistic significant other? Oh my God. Do you use verbal communication to convey disrespect that you're unwilling to speak out loud? Ugh. You got some people that are so adept at arguing, at pushing buttons. They could have the sweetest, most inviting tone and say some of the most vile stuff to you in a nice tone, in a welcoming tone. Why is it that we're afraid of conflict in relationship? Can conflict be used as a catalyst for growth? Can a relationship grow after a certain kind of conflict? I'm not talking about domestic violence. I'm not talking about emotional abuse. I'm not talking about verbal abuse. I'm talking about, I don't agree with you. I don't like the position you're taking. I don't think you've thought it through. And I'd like to unpack it. Make it make sense to me. Do you see the way I said that? That is grounds for an all-out civil war for many relationships. I'm very interested to know, can you fight fair in a relationship? Can we have a healthy, good fight that actually makes us feel? Have you ever had a real bad argument and it went on long enough to where it righted itself, and then you guys gained some clarity or some insight about one another, and you actually felt a little bit better after having, the difficult part kind of get by, and then you got into another space, and then you guys started to feel better about each other? Have you ever had those kind of conversations? I want to know, what does a healthy fight look like? When I come forward, the voice of reason, going to the phone lines.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings will disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, it's Travis Smiley. First, thank you for your support of KBLA Talk 1580. We deeply appreciate you. So, I get asked all the time, Travis, when are you going to bring back that State of the Black Union symposium you used to do? You know, the one where you had all those black intellectuals on stage every year and everybody watched all day live on C-SPAN? Yeah, I know the one. Let's bring a back. Well, I am pleased to tell you that if you go to KBLA1580.com right now, you can sign up to be in the audience here in Los Angeles when we go back live on C-SPAN with a stage full of black thinkers and influencers for a historic conversation. America has never seen a stage full of black folk talking about the urgency of now. Climate justice, climate equity, climate resilience. It's going down Tuesday, June 18th, 4 to 7 p.m. at the California Science Center in Exposition Park. Admission is free, but you must register at KBLA1580.com. Once we reach capacity, you'll have to watch us on C-SPAN. But if you want to be in the room when we go live from Los Angeles, Tuesday, June 18th, head to KBLA1580.com right now to reserve your seat. Caring about the climate, caring about the community. With KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Keep up the
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, represents domestic violence clinics, puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
The topic news.
All right, today it is my goal to drastically change the way that you're fighting in your relationships. We are going to punch conflict right in the face. No, we're not going to do that. But what we are going to do is learn how to resolve conflict in a safe, healthy way. Because if you don't, I hate to break it to you, but it's going to cost you your relationship. Even if you stay together without communication skills, without conflict resolution skills, your relationship dies. You end up feeling disconnected. You feel like roommates. It happens every day. That's just where that path leads. Trust me, I would know. And all joking aside, I had to learn this far too late in my marriage, and it's my goal to do anything I can to help steer you in a different direction. My goal is to actually give you what you want from your relationship. Most of you want to feel close to your partner. Most of you want to feel desired by them. Most of you want to feel respected and valued and loved, right? We want companionship with this person. That's why we started this relationship with them. But here's the problem. Without communication, without conflict resolution skills, without developing any skills of empathy or listening or safety during a conflict, you have no chance of achieving those goals. I don't care what your intentions are. I don't care what your hopes and dreams are. I only care about your behaviors. I care about your patterns. I care about your mindsets. Because I can tell you everything to know about where you're going to end up based off where you are now. And as Emily and I were in counseling together because our marriage was on the brink of collapse because of my own terrible choices, the more we learned about what a healthy, safe, connected relationship looks like, we both came to the realization that we had mutually, unintentionally destroyed our relationship because of how we were handling conflict for years. And at some point, we admitted and agreed that the only way that we're going to get ourselves out of this hole is if we start over completely from a communication and fighting standpoint. That meant completely dismantling our natural defaults and patterns. Not only were they not working, they were hurting us. It meant changing how...
Stop that. Bring it back to where he said they figured it out.
We started this relationship with them. But here's the problem. Without communication, without conflict resolution skills, without developing any skills of empathy or listening or safety during a conflict, you have no chance at achieving those goals. I don't care what your intentions are. I don't care what your hopes and dreams are. I only care about your behaviors. I care about your patterns. I care about your mindsets. Because I can tell you everything to know about where you're going to end up based off where you are now. And as Emily and I were in counseling together because our marriage was on the brink of collapse because of my own terrible choices, the more we learned about what a healthy, safe, connected relationship looks like, we both came to the realization that we had mutually, unintentionally destroyed our relationship because of how we were handling conflict for years. And at some point, we admitted and agreed that the only way that we're going to get ourselves out of this hole is if we start over completely from a communication and fighting standpoint. That meant completely dismantling our natural defaults and patterns. Not only were they not working, they were hurting us. It meant changing how we viewed conflict, the false narratives we had created around it, the fears we had surrounding it that we didn't even know about, and how we were resolving and repairing it. Because for us, it never led anywhere healthy. It only led to worsening distance and disconnection. So what does all that have to do with you? Well, if you're watching this, my job is to give you the warning I never got. This is the opportunity to start over. Don't wait for a crisis in your relationship or marriage to address this issue.
Just come on, man. Just come on. Come on, man. This is why I always question people. Listen, this is why I question if people actually love. See, that man and his woman were in a space where they were conscious enough to say, yo, this happened, that happened, I'm mad at you. And he talked about all of the defaults that they had in place, right? But see, when you really value someone, you will change. You will go inside and start looking at yourself from an objective space, and you'll start saying to yourself, hey, this isn't cool. Let me adjust this. Let me adjust that. And you're doing it for yourself, but you're also doing it for your partner because you care. When people refuse to change for themselves, you and the relationship, the Holy Trinity, change for you first, your partner second, and the relationship third. When you got people who refuse to change their negative defaults in terms of how they view conflict, that person really don't care about you. You need to recognize that. When we come forward, I know the phone lines is cranking. When we come forward, we gonna get deeper.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is approving $75 million for a new University of Florida graduate campus in Jacksonville. In March, the Florida Board of Governors approved plans for the new campus that's expected to cost about $300 million. About $570 million is earmarked for K-12 student safety programs, and another $20 million will go towards boosting security and infrastructure at Florida's HBCUs. Exceptions for rape and incest will not be added to Louisiana's abortion ban. The House Administration of Criminal Justice Committee voted 7-4 on Tuesday to reject the changes. The committee's pro-life majority said they're more interested in punishing the rapist than the innocent child resulting from his illegal action. State Representative Delisha Boyd, a black New Orleans Democrat who had proposed the bill to make the changes, says she'll try again every year until the bill passes. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. How does 3 months of free electricity and a lifetime of energy savings sound? Well, it's yours when you go solar with Sunlux. Learn more at sunlux.com, sunlux.com.
KBLA Talk 1580 is the fastest growing talk radio station in Southern California. Home to 50,000 watts and an audience reach of 12 million listeners. KBLA Talk 1580 is a pioneer for black audio content, including our groundbreaking $2 million climate justice campaign and the most loyal, influential audience. According to an independent research study by the polling firm of Iteris, for the second consecutive year, KBLA Talk 1580 is the most trustworthy, reliable, and credible news source for Black audiences and beyond in Southern California. Let KBLA Talk 1580 power your advertising dollars. Our omni-channel custom marketing solutions are specifically tailored to connect with your ideal target audience. We leverage audio, podcasts, streaming, digital, social media, and local activations to get your message out to the Black community. Get in touch with our advertising team today at advertising@KBLA1580.com. That's advertising at KBLA1580.com. KBLA 1580. We've got your Black.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number and put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement. Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your Black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Don't shave with that, son. You'll get razor bumps.
Nah, Pops. I'm good with Gillette Skin Guard. How long you been growing that beard anyway? You know Mama hates it.
Yeah, had it since my last wet shave in 77. Got ingrown so bad, looked like I was growing a patch of new noses.
That's why I use the Gillette Skin Guard razor, face scrub, shave gel, and moisturize. So I don't have to worry about new razor bumps or shaving irritation.
Gillette Skin Guard, huh? Your mama's gonna love this one.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SavedByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SavedByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SavedByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Phil Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
That's my prerogative. They say I'm crazy. I really don't care. That's my prerogative. They say I'm nasty, but I don't give a damn. Getting good is how I live. To make you question, why am I so real? But they don't understand me, or really don't know the deal about some brother. Trying hard to make it right. Not long ago, before I win this fight, everybody's talking all the stuff about me. Why don't they just let me live? Tell me why.
Arguments in relationships are typically so regrettable and often so bitter, it's natural to hope we might, with greater maturity, overcome them once and for all. But given what human nature is actually like, it would be unwise to make this our goal. The hope can't be to eliminate arguments altogether. It should be to try to find our way to a better kind of argument. Arguments tend to start when we're confronted, usually rather suddenly, by what appears to us to be the radical selfishness, intransigence, or sheer nastiness of the partner. It is extremely tempting to react with equal force. We aren't, after all, a pushover. We've been hurt, and we must hurt back. We will make them suffer as they have made us suffer. There may be variations in just how we opt to inflict the suffering. Perhaps we'll do a lot of shouting, or slam a door, or maybe we'll eke this one out with a sulk. But the underlying principle is the same. We've been hurt, and we have to punish. But at this point, we might ask ourselves what we're really seeking. After all, we're not trying to administer abstract justice or punish for the sake of it. This isn't a criminal court or the headmaster's office. What we're truly seeking in a close relationship is something much more touching. We want the other person to love us properly and to be kinder. That's why we're slamming the door, calling them a fuckwit, and have been pretending they don't exist since breakfast. Surprisingly, almost the last thing we ever do when we've been very hurt is to say that we've been very hurt. It feels just too humiliating to reveal our wound to the person who inflicted it, to show ourselves as vulnerable in front of the very individual who, it seems, has unbearably abused.
Oh my goodness. A new way to look at conflict? And he outlined it perfectly, right? What is that, psych to go? I think that's psych to go, right? He outlined it perfectly in terms of the human condition makes space for conflict. Like, we're going to have conflict. But he was saying at some point in time, maybe we should evolve to a point where maybe conflict doesn't get such a bad rap. Listen, I'm not talking about any type of abuse. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying when I listen to everybody, you can't have a normal conflict with anybody. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you're not having a conflict with a person that doesn't have unhealed wounds. So the person is reacting through those wounds. The wounds are triggered. I wonder what a healed person looks like in an argument. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Conflict is often seen as a sign of trouble, a red flag, signaling potential discord and disharmony. However, if we were to challenge this controversial wisdom and propose that healthy disagreement, and conflict should have a useful and beneficial place in every healthy relationship. On tonight's topic, we're going to try to delve into the complexities of conflict within intimate relationships, exploring the notion that by engaging in healthy conflict, we can actually have, this communicative catalyst, and we can use it for growth, the growth of intimacy, the growth of self-awareness, by having opposing ideas and concepts and having disagreements. I'm not saying they have to be disrespectful, but I'm saying they must be hashed out. So many of us move away from anything that feels uncomfortable. We don't want a negative or what is perceived as a negative exchange. To fight healthy in a relationship is to investigate the tumultuous waters of disagreement with bidirectional respect, mutual empathy, and willingness to listen and understand the other person's perspective. Oftentimes, relationships get real ugly because we're impatient listeners. We don't listen to really comprehend or understand. We listen to respond. We'll step on our partner's toes while they're talking by interrupting. So many of us don't understand what active listening is. Do you understand? Like, healthy conflict. Let's get into it. We got callers all over the country. Let's get them in here right now. Mimi, Jacksonville, Florida. You've been on the longest. What are your thoughts about tonight's topic?
Hey, Zoe. Hey, everyone. I have a cold, so please bear with me.
It's all good. Talk to us about tonight's topic.
I love this topic. I love this topic. Healthy, your message said, let's have a healthy fight. Yes. Growing up, when I was a little girl, I have memories of family, friends, neighbors having unhealthy, toxic fights. I mean, the kind that, neighborhood fight starts at 10 o'clock. You think it's over. And basically, it's an all-day thing, 10 o'clock that night. The cops are called. And when they leave, it starts up again. So as I grew up as a girl, a teenager, into my womanhood, I said, I don't want that. Subconsciously, I said, I don't want that. I want to, I don't really say the word fighting because to me that's so negative, but I like to have respectful disagreements. And because I feel like if you love each other, you respect each other, you should be able to communicate with each other about everything in a respectful way. You know what I mean?
I love it.
I know it's...
No. You're 100% correct. I want to know, how did you develop the skills to have a mutually respectful conversation or disagreement? I want to hear that.
Well, I'm still working on it, but I got tired of being yelled at and not heard, because when that happened, it just made me want to leave the relationship. So I had to grow up. I had to become a mature person. I had to, what does Michelle Obama say, when they go low, you go high, or whatever. So I had to learn how to go higher, and I'm still working on it. But all of that fussing and fighting, I just want to talk to you. You're my partner.
So,
you're my partner.
Let me give you just a little insight. So, yes, there are partners, significant others, both men and women, that are out there that actively contribute to making their partner feel unseen and unheard, making them feel small. But again, I want to get the language right, as the great MLK said. Let's get the language right. Whenever you're having a relationship conversation, you're dealing with bidirectionality. It's both ways. A person can't make you feel smaller without your permission. You have to make yourself small. Like, some people say, oh, I felt like I didn't have a voice. But you also you shrunk yourself. You muted your own voice. And until you found the courage, do you see? See, you got to remember, relationships are like temperature, right? Hot and cold may feel radically different, but hot and cold are the same thing, temperature, separated by infinite degrees. So you'll have somebody, because this is another way of self-victimization, right? I get to say, you made me feel small. You took my voice away. And I'm not saying that there aren't psychopathic, sociopathic, crazy, abusive people out there that actually do this. What I'm saying is, for most of us, we're doing it to ourselves. And remember, how you treat yourself is an invitation for others to treat you the same way. Do you agree or disagree with that notion?
I agree, but can I ask you this? I think, I hear what you're saying. I think I'm still learning how to think spiritually because my thinking is still tied up with, I guess, what the psychologists say. And they have fed us all of this stuff. And I need to learn more about this.
Let me tell you something. This is why I love Joshana Johnson and Dr. Shalonda Crawford. Because they sisters. And sisters are going to put that slap your mama on that education. You know that seasoning salt, slap your mama? Sisters are going to put that spirit on it. And that's why I love them, because they integrate the spirit with the clinical. Do you see? There has to be a balance. I've always been an advocate of both sides. I just feel like the clinical side needs the spiritual side. And the spiritual side helps, or the clinical side also helps make a little bit more sense of the spiritual side, right? So when you hear the spiritualists say, relationship is a mirror, without the clinical side saying, our central nervous systems are relating to, or Patrick Carnes saying, we're trauma bonded. The trauma in you is attracted to the trauma in me and creates a bond. What? Your attachment styles are attracted to one another. What? Dismissive avoidance, like anxious preoccupied? And fearful avoidance? Do you see? So
I didn't know that's what I was. I mean, I see what you're saying, but now
stay
I
with
understand.
Me. Stay with me. Don't leave. Don't leave. When we come forward, I'm going back to Jacksonville. We got it cooking already.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV. City of Los Angeles landlords, verify your tenant's Emergency Renters Assistance Program status today. Tenants approved for rental assistance are protected from eviction for non-payment of rent through May 31st, 2024. Approved rental assistance applications protect tenants from eviction for non-payment of rent. Refusing to accept rental assistance based on their source of income is illegal under law and can be used as a defense in an eviction case. Check your tenant's application status now at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org. Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk
1580. In the realm of relationships, conflict is often viewed more exclusively through a lens of negativity, often synonymous with things like drama, breakups, discord, or discomfort. But what if I told you that conflict, when handled skillfully and within the context of a secure relationship, is actually something that serves as a catalyst for growth, for deeper connection, and for more intimacy than prior to when we had the conflict itself. In fact, conflict's purpose is to grow intimacy between two people in a relationship, through forcing each individual to actually share what's going on inside of them, their fears, their flaws, and their needs. And this is something securely attached people do well, making conflict something that continuously grows the relationship and allows it to evolve. Whereas less securely attached people...
Listen. I'm telling y'all, in 10 or 20 years, y'all going to be like, Zoe Williams said that. The Western mindset is saying, yo, there's attachment, there's attachment styles, there's attachment wounds, right? This is the Western mind. Listen, attachment comes with expectation. I'm attached to something, whether it's a wound, an attachment style, it's attached to something, right? When we're listening to all of these clinicians, right, they're speaking from the space of safety. Why? We don't want to trigger the wound. And if we do trigger the wound, we deal with it effectively to where you get what I'm saying? Everything is about protecting this wound. I'm telling you, as the science of psychology evolves, you're going to see that where there's an attachment, there's an expectation. Where there's an expectation, there is a limitation. What do you mean, Zoe? In direct correlation to experiencing unconditional love. In about 10, 20 years, we're going to see, wow, so much fear. Reading some of Dr. David R. Hawking's works. Go get his book, Power versus Force, The Hidden Determinants of Human Behavior. Read some of his, The Eye of the Eye. Read some of his work. What you're going to find is, at a certain level of consciousness, non-duality ceases to exist. You come into the presence of God. This is self-realization, self-actualization. Just like when I mention self-actualization and we talk about Maslow, Abraham Maslow. Well, that concept, that theory is getting rewritten. Why? Well, because when he wrote it, it had no socioeconomic underpinning. Had no underpinning of socioeconomics. So you can have some people on the lowest rung, right, that are happy, that are okay because they got each other. I'm telling you, we got more discourse or discord in our relationships today as modern African Americans than we did as slaves. If you could be viewed as chattel, as property, and got a wife and kid and grandmama live in the house with y'all, how is it y'all can be in love and you seen as property? Today, I didn't sign up for this, and this ain't that, and you should have, and what had happened was, and I'm standing on business, and I'm real with mine. Do you see where we are? Do you see? I'm telling you, in the next coming years, we're going to have a psychological breakthrough, and they're going to rewrite everything being safe. The Zen Buddhist philosophy says, jump, and then the net will appear. Don't wait to see the net. You know how many people building nets before they talk to somebody? Let me make sure we got a net under the dinner table, just in case you pop out. Do you see? Do you see? Everything we're doing from the perspective of psychology is to protect. I need a safe space. Not knowing that safety is you. Oh, Lord. When we come forward, I'm going back to Jacksonville to finish up with Mimi. I think you will be
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is approving $75 million for a new University of